Content is publicly sourced and used under the USA Fair Use and UK Fair Dealing Guidelines. The things I say are strictly my opinion. Good evening, everyone. It's the Bizzy Bee with the Royal Tea. Hope you've all had a great Friday, August the 28th. This is the tomb of Anne of Cleves, fourth wife of Henry VIII. It is in Westminster Abbey in London, of course. Three things that I'm grateful for today, everyone. Number one, well, I'm grateful to Gloria Steinem and other activists who have fought so hard so that Smegs could be a freeloading never was. And I'm sure during the 60s when all these activists were marching and all this, they were all picturing the kind of life for themselves that Meghan has. No job, not family funded. None of her family has anything to do with her. In-law funded freeloading. Number two, I'm grateful to Omid Scobie for pointing out that all of us who criticize Smegs are morons. As a matter of fact, everyone, I am so moronic, I would not have known about my moronacy without the brilliant insight of Mr. Scobie. Thank you so much, sir. Number three, I'm grateful for the lovely lady I spoke with at work today. She was very sweet. Of course, you, my viewers and subscribers, she was a little old lady, and I could tell by the way she was talking. She just wanted somebody to talk to. She was a little old widow lady, as she said. And I indulged her. I talked to her for a while. Oh, she was so nice. It was refreshing. I wish everyone could be so sweet. For today's History Minute, I have Anne of Cleves, the fourth Queen Consort of Henry VIII. Look at this signature she had. Stunning, as they say. And her coat of arms. Like it a lot. Okay, a few facts about Queen Anne. Well, I'll try to make it brief. Somebody said that they wished I didn't do these till the end and things like that, so I'm going to make it as brief as possible. Her tenure was only a few months, January to July of 1540. After 6 months, her marriage to Henry was declared unconsummated, and as a result, it was annulled. Ooh, she was probably wiping the sweat off her brow, taking a breath of gratefulness and gratitude. Whew. Thank goodness, she got off a lot easier than some of them. Henry said he couldn't do the deed because Anne allegedly looked like a horse and her privates stank. Following the annulment, she was given a generous settlement by the king and thereafter referred to as the king's beloved sister. Wow, do you all hear that? It's starting to thunder here. And little Myrtle is hiding in the corner. She hates the thunder. Oh my goodness. Come here, girl. Do you want to come sit in my lap? I don't think so. She's over there. She's scared. Oh my goodness, poor thing. Okay, so Anne died at Chelsea Old Manor on the 16th of July, 1557, aged 41. The most likely cause of her death was cancer. She's buried in another stinky chapel, Westminster Abbey. Oh my goodness, everybody. Meghan and Harry are going to have a huge tax bill in the USA. They should have stayed in America. I started to say America. They should have stayed in the UK. And as it turns out, according to this article, California is the most expensive state tax-wise they could have chosen to live in. Let's take a look. I'll link it below if you want to check it out yourself. Meghan Hair, stiff U.S. tax burden exposed. Meghan and Harry face a very stiff U.S. tax burden if they are fully taxed in Cali. In fact, the Duke and Duchess could give away around half their earned income in tax. Meghan's not going to like the sound of that. This is because California is the most highly taxed state in the U.S., the top rate of tax being 13.3% for earnings above $1 million, compared to some states where there is no state income tax at all, such as Texas and Florida. Well, why didn't Megs want to move to Texas and Florida where she wouldn't have had to pay this? There aren't Hollywood producers in Texas. There might be some in Miami and Orlando, but California is where she needs to go to launch that acting career. Meanwhile, the top rate of federal tax is 37% for earnings over $510,301, plus 2.35% FICA, the equivalent of national insurance. If Meghan were to earn $2 million in a year, for example, she would be taxed at the highest tax bracket both federally and within the state, and would need to cough up $669,000 in federal taxes and $53,990 in FICA and $214,409 in state taxes. Whew, that's a lot of money, leaving $1,063,489, just over half what was initially earned. She's not going to pay that. She's not going to want to give half her paycheck over to these folks. No, she'll end up going to jail for tax evasion like her mother. Like mother, like daughter. Oh. However, as earnings increase, the effective tax rate can even creep over 50%. What's more, California legislators have proposed an increase in its state taxes to 16.8% and a 0.4% wealth tax. A wealth tax could eat into the money the Duke and Duchess already have, including Harry's inheritance from his mother Diana. A federal wealth tax was also discussed in the Democratic primaries and endorsed by candidates Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren, although there is no sign of Joe Biden signing on to the idea. Then there are capital gains taxes to consider, which is the tax on profit from property or taxes in shares, or stocks and shares. Currently, capital gains tax is at half the rate of income tax, but Mr. Biden has promised to equalize it if he is elected this November. However, there are ways Harry and Smegs could arrange their finances so as to pay as little tax as possible. I'm sure they'll figure this out. They're going to pay the best accountants to do the math for them, because please don't leave the math to Harry. They'll both be in jail for tax evasion. They'll never see the light of day again. For example, with people who have international interests and before everything that's happening now, intended to split their time between the UK and North America, there are different governments competing for the same tax money. The UK's HM Revenue and Custom and the US's Internal Revenue Service will both want to benefit from their taxes, but tiebreaker rules are in place to stop double taxation. Immigration and tax expert David Lesperance told express.co.uk that the couple have numerous planning opportunities to minimize tax based on each of their statuses. For example, Meghan is a U.S. citizen and so is liable to pay U.S. taxes unless the income was earned in the UK, in which case it could be taxed there. On the other hand, Harry was what is known as a domicile of origin in the UK, but may qualify to pay U.S. tax for other reasons, getting a green card or staying too long, for example. Harry's not going to be able to get a green card, and shouldn't his time be ticking out in the USA? Has he applied for anything? It's about time that they should be shipping him back over to the UK. Get rid of him. Mr. Lesperance said, when two countries are fighting over tax dollars, the U.S.-UK tax treaty has what is called the Queensberry Rules. Who is going to get the actual money and who is going to get a little note on their tax return saying foreign tax credit? If Harry is a U.S. person for tax purposes, either because he got a green card or because he spent too many days in the U.S. would say, we're in the fight. The UK are what he would made in Madagascar. They don't care. It's worldwide. The UK may say, we think he is a UK taxpayer because HMRC has a series of rules which are actually quite complex. There is a 50-page set of guidelines. If it's in the UK will say it's UK source. So according to the Queensberry rules in the tax treaty, we get the actual payment of tax for that and the Americans get the tax credit. If it's in Madagascar, that's when you look at the Queensberry rules and the tiebreaker rules. So you look at what is permanent establishment of the individual, you look at the facts. My goodness, this is a mouthful, isn't it? You weigh up, does he have a home in the UK? Frogmore. Does he have a home in the US? Yes. Where is his family life center? Meghan and Archie are in the US. Where is his business life centered? Well, he has a business operating out of the UK. So it's a balancing act. You go through all these things. But if he never becomes a U.S. person for taxes, the only thing the U.S. is ever going to talk about with any foreigner is if you have U.S. source income or U.S. situs capital gains. Oh, wow, that is really complicated. They're going to have to pay an accountant a lot of money to figure out how they can dodge taxes in both the U.S. and the U.K. This is something I just wanted to point out to everyone real quick. This is the only page. Look at this. You've got to laugh, it says, at Meghan. Royal fans are mocking Meghan after her awkward slogan. This is rich. The queen of, I'm sorry, I'm not going to call her queen of anything. The top hypocrite in all of the United States has out-hypocrited herself again, if that is actually a word. She's using the title Duchess, but in her video with Gloria Steinem, she says that she demands, actually, that women should be linked and not ranked, while using her rank as Duchess. What a joke. Get over yourself, Smegs. A few comments from yesterday's video about the Sussex royal name change and Omid Scobie calling Meghan's critics morons. Somebody said, I commented how Meghan's using the word Markle in the Markle-Windsor Foundation and how that's kind of odd. I didn't mean that it's odd for a woman to take her husband's last name. Not at all. What I was actually saying was royal women, after they marry into the royal family, they don't typically still use their maiden name. What I'm saying is, if the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge started a charity together, you wouldn't expect them to call it the Middleton-Windsor Foundation, would you? No. So why is Meghan still using her last name so prominently? It's because she plans to leave Harry. She knows the marriage isn't going to last, and when she leaves, she wants that last name recognition still. So I'm sorry if there was a misunderstanding. Someone said, I can't believe all these important people are letting themselves be used by Meghan Markle. Jimmy Choo is too expensive. Not what she is advertising is not that expensive. I have Stella sunglasses and dollars are cheaper than pounds. She's wearing middle-of-the-road clothes, shoes, etc., not top-notch. Well, the clothes Meghan might have been was wearing in that Gloria Steinem video, they might have been middle-of-the-road clothes, $618 for shoes and $400 for a hat, and what was the pants? $400, I believe. But, add all three of those things up, and I could pay my rent and bills for 1 month. So, to me, that is very expensive for one outfit. MWX, it sounds like a protein powder product. Meg only knows about one kind of powder, and it ain't something you can bring out in broad daylight. Jane Seymour was Henry's favorite because she didn't live long enough to anger him. What a shame he's not here now to deal with Smegs. Maybe Harry and Smegs haven't been around long enough for Meghan to anger Harry for him to want to get rid of her. Her feet don't complement the sandals. You were too funny, her thanking the UK taxpayers, and when I have enough time, I need to write a thank you note that she can publish in the London newspaper to thank the UK taxpayers for her lavish lifestyle and wonderful clothes. What have we learned today, everyone? Well, number one, if Henry VIII didn't fancy women who looked like horses with smelly private parts, oh my goodness, I didn't have that in there. If Henry VIII didn't fancy women who looked like horses with smelly privates, then he certainly wouldn't like Smegs. Number two, now that Harry Harkle will have a tax burden, Smegs will not be the only burden he is carrying. Number three, the Harkles better have a good accountant because math is above Harry's head. 4. Important people are being used by Smegs. Certain parts of Smegs have been being used by people for years. Number 5, Smegs' clothing might not have been top-notch, but for what they cost, one could have purchased at least 20 below-dock sessions with Ms. Markle. Number 6, MWX sounds like a protein powder, but the only powder Smegs knows about is illegal. Number 7, the only protein substance Smegs knows about, besides roast chicken, is the kind a gentleman caller produces after intimacy. And number 8, The only thing Smegs' feet compliment are ads for bunion removal surgery or ads for closed-toe shoes. If you would like to send treats to the little girls and the one gentleman, there's the P.O. Box, everybody. Our love notes, of course, for me. There's a picture of the 3 girls and 1 boy. And tips are also greatly appreciated. I really do appreciate it to all of you who have sent me them in the past. Thank you so much for watching. I'm off on Saturdays and Sundays, so I'm going to take the next 2 days to myself. I will be back on Monday. I have my 3-hour interview Tuesday afternoon at 1:30 Eastern Standard Time. So I don't know if I'll produce a video or do a video on Tuesday, but I will definitely do one on Monday. I will see you all then. Have a great weekend. Enjoy it. Relax. Spend time with your loved ones. And don't take them for granted. I'll see you all on Monday. Have a good one. Bye-bye for now.